Okay, so this is the, I did this for the tech. And because what I did is I was just showing you how the program worked. This is the person who did the blood work. And I decided not to change the artwork, but just change the background. The background represents the stories of her different patients that come through. See, it says tech. Took me the blood test. She listened so well. She reminded my daughter Erica. I love Erica so much. So proud of her. Really, she's gonna do great. But she didn't, even though she didn't say anything, she listened, but she changed because of how her clients and the people she listened to changed her. Isn't that cool? And then the other one was, well, it's kind of long. This is the Al Marie one here for the wedding. Here's one of the favorite ones. I go from this one to this wedding. And they fade into each other. And there's a story about it and all that. I'd like to put one word to each of you. You can see how this works. It's actually really easy. Just hit like this. So there could be one of three things. It could be panic attack, it could be your heart, but you have to look closely at the details. And if you look closer, you might notice unusual things growing and happening, but you're gonna have to make some conclusions. So this is the external doctor's thoughts. Well, it could be this, could be that, but there's a lot of factors, you know? This has some points, and that has some points, and our bodies are complicated, and everything's complicated, okay? And this is the patient's opinion. I'm in the middle of this, but the doctor has to come up with a decision. They're gonna say, it's yes or no, here's some 4 steps, and this is my reaction. I probably won't follow one of the steps. So great, it's not a heart attack. So what in the hell is it, okay? And what I'm saying is that I was happy. I was in a very good place and state. I was not losing my mind. There you go.
Hi, Alana. I just decided to do a voice recording instead of a dictation text. I do not feel very good. It's Saturday morning. I don't feel nearly like I did, but I'm not back to normal. They checked my heart and everything seems perfectly fine. There's a 1% chance, less than 1%, she said, that my heart is going to fail me on my way home or whatever. And so the other thing they say, I can't even think of the word right now, panic attack. It was not a panic attack, okay? Let me tell you what happened. There's some things I want to say, okay? Because I'm going to say this to you Monday morning, but if I just want to remember the sequence. Because it was a sequence. And what I was doing, I think, is also important. And that is that I was totally into my digital art. And I now see color as meaning. You know, like I could think about a situation. I actually did 3 art pieces. I did one for the doctor in the emergency room. I did one for the lab tech. And then, well, the third one actually might be another one. The third one was for Al Marie's wedding that we're going to go to next week. And that's what I was doing on the plane. And I was immersed in it. And, you know, I think it has absolutely nothing to do with it. Then all of a sudden, what happened was we started hitting turbulence, and I remember they opened the windows in the plane, and my mind thought it was nighttime, okay? I was very relaxed, I was in my zone, and really enjoying it. It's a great experience what I do. And yeah, I had one gummy, that's it, you know, like, but it's kind of normal, you know? I mean, it wasn't nothing. I mean, it was a day off gummy or whatever, you know, like full one. I don't remember feeling high or anything particularly. Really, they're pretty mild to me. That did play a role. I think that could play a role in it too. And that's a whole nother story. Yeah, there's a cannabinoid I forget what it's called. I saw a friend have it once, And yeah, he lost oxygen. It was weird. Anyway, the point is, that is not the point. The point is that the light from the plane was shocking. I completely remember, like, oh my God. And then I'm like, geez, it's daytime. I totally felt it was normal. And then all of a sudden I realized it's like daytime. And then I realized, man, this plane is going to get me sick. Because I've always had very sensitive motion sickness as a kid, and I still have it, you know. And I also wanted to say that after I saw you last week, I remember Jan said, are there any other conditions? And, you know, I used to have a list before I'd come to you, you know. And I didn't have any, and I did think about it. I didn't really think of anything. But there was one thing that I didn't tell you that I wanted to, that is related to this incident. And that is, I feel my stomach all the time. So I can't quite tell if I'm hungry half the time, because I'm always feeling a little pain in my stomach. Not like pain that you think, but it's like, I don't think most people feel their stomach unless they're hungry, you know, or unless they're full or something like that. But I feel it all the time, and it's kind of, and I feel like I have more gas and, you know. And I was concerned about my stool the last 6 months too. It was not normal. I was not going once or twice a day for months. So I started to. I got more normal. Not sure why. Anyway, the next thing I want to say is that when the plane started moving and I started getting nauseous, I just said, okay, I tried to finish up a little bit of art. I'm like, no, okay, stop. The art has some of the turbulence in it, actually. But I stopped and I'm like, I need to just breathe. I'm going to make it. And I kept on that until we landed for a good 20 minutes. So I went into that mode completely conscious. I was not super sick. It's just, I knew that it was very turbulent, and we were dropping 10 and 15 feet at the time, I could tell. And it was just, I knew it was going to take me out. I asked for a bag. No one else did, because I know I'm more sensitive. And then they brought me a bag. Then I beeped it again, and they said, sorry, we cannot get out of our seats in these conditions. You know, so it was just beating us up, and I was really starting to suffer. And I was like, oh man, I'm going to totally lose it. But I just kept breathing, because that really did help. It totally helped. But I started breathing way before anything else happened, as a preventative measure. Because I do that at work. I do that. That's what my piano does for me. That's what my art does for me. I breathe at the beginning of it, and I kind of go in a healthy, calm state. So saying I had a panic attack just doesn't add up to me at all. I just kept breathing, and I just put my head down, and I'm like, I'm just gonna take it easy. I told Sri, I'm not doing well. Then I started feeling numb. My legs got numb, my toes got numb, my arms got numb, my fingers got numb. I felt just horrific. And I actually, like, I thought I pooped my pants, but I didn't. I mean, I don't know what happened, but it was a mess. It wasn't super messy, but I don't know what happened, but I didn't even feel it happen. I felt the coldness of it. But I was like, my body was totally shutting down, and I realized so I started the breathing exercise as a defensive mechanism to stay calm, because I knew nausea was coming, because I could see how far we were. They said we were having trouble landing. They had hail down there. We're going to get down there, hopefully. I'm like, oh, fuck. So let's prepare. And I did. I was not feeling sick at that time. When I started breathing slow. Okay? So then I realized I have to keep breathing slow, and I have to keep taking brief breaths because I'm losing oxygen. Then I started feeling like my socks were too tight. Okay, I'm like, I gotta take Sri, help me. But I couldn't move. I couldn't lift. I had my head in my hands, one elbow here, and then my other elbow on the rack that you're not supposed to have down. But I didn't have enough energy. I needed the food tray thing and the armrest to hold my elbow so I could hold my head up. I couldn't really do anything else. I really couldn't. I felt no energy. I felt like I could not move. And then I felt like, you could say, it was a panic attack or whatever, because I felt a sense of doom. But it wasn't that way. I realized that my breathing was not just helping me not to panic, because I felt like I was in paramedic mode. I did. I went into like, I am going to, get through this. Just because I have a weak stomach, and not because of any fear. I have no fear of airplanes. So the thing is I don't even think about airplanes crashing at all. So the thing is I was losing oxygen. That's why that's why things were numb. My circulation was restricting my circulation. And that's why they had to check for a heart attack. And they should have. I went into complete sweat. My whole body was sweating. I didn't have control of my body. I had no energy. I kind of was trying to see if it was better if my eyes open or closed. I even said, Sri, can you tell the couple in front of us to take their headphones off? I just want more people aware of this medical emergency, because they couldn't come and help me, because they said, we can't come and help you unless it's a heart attack or a stroke. Okay? And so, I had a heart attack in my mind. I thought I was going to have one. I sort of did. I just realized that that if I didn't take big, deep breaths, I wasn't going to get enough oxygen. I felt like the socks and shoes were restricting oxygen from coming in. I wanted to take my shirt off because my shirt was a little tight in the arms, and I could feel like my arms needed the oxygen from the air. But I didn't want to take it off because I was also sweating, and I was also cold. I was cold and I was sweating. I had Sri put a scarf on top of my head to keep me warm. I said, no, just pile it up like a big thing. I didn't care, And then the paramedics came, and then I just said, I'm sorry, like that. And then they came out, and all the people were looking, and I cried a little, But it was just emotional because it was shocking that it was happening, And then, the paramedics saw me for quite a while. Basically, like, you're in good shape, but, you're not recovering like I would expect you to. And anyway, I know that's a lot. But what I'm saying is that the light, here's the other thing. So I was extremely sensitive to motion, but also I noticed to light. Okay? So I had this disease, or I had this thing when I was a child, and I know people go, oh yeah, well, one day, this is a kid. But it was traumatic for me. It was really significant, and I think there was something about the plane that may have re-triggered that, because when they opened the lights up, when the plane went from dark, everybody's just chilling. We were just chilling, right? There's nothing to look out. It wasn't anything to see. And then all of a sudden they opened the lights, and then it was like so bright. And anyway, I think it may have triggered something, because I literally, from that time on, if I look at a contrasting thing, I can feel it in my stomach, totally. If I look at a picture across the room, I see the sun on there, I don't want to look at it. If I cover it with my eyes, I can feel my stomach change. And it reminds me totally of when I was a child, because it was just like that. You put something in front of the light, and the nausea would just go away. And when I was a kid, it was really severe. But I also noticed too is that if the light was dimmer and you came from a dimmer light, close to a brighter light, it wouldn't be as bad. But I do remember, my brother just opened the door one time, left it wide open, and I got him in trouble. Because it shocked me, man. You could not open the door. The whole door was just like, no way. Oh, that literally happened. They opened the door all the way, and it wasn't it was just a normal room. It wasn't the sun shining or anything. It was just normal light. I mean, we had bay windows there, but it was filtered through curtains and everything. But I'm just saying that that's how it's feeling now. Okay, so this is getting too long to go on. So what I'm saying is motion sickness has, the way I see it, is that your brain makes an enemy of your eyes or something like that, whereas it's like, hey, we are freaking moving, and you're saying that we're doing something else, and you're wrong, and you're wrong. We're shutting you down. You're sick. This is not good. Okay, I know we're moving, and that's what causes the sickness. You know. And what I'm saying is, this is also how I'm feeling now. I'm wondering if this is the kind of thing that's happened. I don't know why or how that happens, but I'm very light sensitive right now. Like if I change the light brightness, or if there's a strong contrast, I can feel it in my stomach. I'm actually looking at the beautiful Rocky Mountains right now on the 4th floor of the Hilton Garden Inn, and there's a little copper roof outside, and there's light on one side of it and not on the other, and I can totally feel it. If I cover it, I can also feel it go away. There's a signal to my stomach now from light. And what I'm saying, what I was doing as an artist, and I'm interested, the sympathetic thing is something I'm trying to teach ourselves how to do it through my piano method. I'm trying to blend senses, and that's really what I'm trying to do, and I think it works. I think you can work on it and figure out a way to create new neural pathways that maybe haven't been typical for human beings in the past. Some monkeys pick up a rock and start trying to see if it works, and most monkeys don't. Hey, I appreciate you a lot. I'm going to let you go. It's kind of emotional for me. I don't really now I'm feeling anxious, but I think I'm kind of feeling this way because I don't like being so unique. I don't want unique problems. It's not fair. Anyway, bye. I appreciate you too. Bye.